Welcome back to the Mush Report. This is going to be the first video of a new series. And today, we're going to make some CVG Bulk Substrate. There's only a few ingredients required, so stick around and watch how I make it. So, to begin, I like to get the 4.5 quarts of water that's needed on the stove first and get it to a boil. Now, besides all the ingredients I have here, you'll also need a bucket. The particular bucket I'm using here is a 5-gallon food-grade bucket that is thick-walled and has a locking lid to hold in moisture. But you can use any bucket you like as long as it has a lid. Now that my water just started boiling, I'll turn on a timer for an additional 3 minutes, just for good measure. Now a quick review on the ingredients. 1 650-gram brick of cocoa, 8 cups of vermiculite, and 1 cup of gypsum powder. Before I dump in the boiling water, I'll first place all my dry ingredients in the bucket, in no particular order. Okay, now that all the ingredients are in the bucket, we can now add the boiling water. But make sure you're in a safe area away from others, as this is scalding hot water. At this point, I like to place a lid on loosely for the first initial minutes, because if you lock the lid on right away, it will most likely balloon the plastic lid. As you can see, everything has expanded quite a bit. That brick of cocoa is massive. So what you're going to want to do is just break everything down. I like to use gloves, try and keep it clean. Don't want to put any bacteria in there. And so just break it all down, mix it up, and then test the field capacity. Alright, now you can see that it's all pretty well mixed up. And the reason why I like to mix it up really good is because that gypsum tends to settle at the bottom and it turns into like big clumpy clay chunks. So you just want to mix it thoroughly and throughout the substrate. You can see the vermiculite in there. Of course, you're not really going to see the gypsum because there was only 1 cup, but it has expanded quite a bit, and you're going to have quite a bit of substrate for the near future. But other than that, you want to make sure you have proper field capacity, and what I mean by that is the moisture content that you have in your substrate. Now, you don't want it to be too wet, but of course you don't want it to be too dry. So what I like to do is just get a little handful of it. I like to give it a squeeze. Now, if you're just starting to squeeze it and it's streaming out, that's too wet. But I'm squeezing it pretty good here. And see, I'm just getting some drops. Getting some drops, that's fine. I just don't want a stream of water coming out. And of course, if you follow the directions, it should work out just fine for you. Alright everybody, thanks for checking back and watching how I make CVG. Pretty easy, minimal ingredients, anybody can do it. And of course, if you want to make the recipe without the vermiculite and the gypsum powder, you can just use cocoa. I'll put the recipe up here for just the cocoa recipe, and that's all you need. And of course, what you're looking at is what I have planned. I have a half a dozen Ben's Original rice bags. And of course, I have a much larger tub this time around. It is a 32 quart Sterilite tub. It will be modified. As you can see, I have the holes taken out. I will be using polyfill. So it's going to be quite a step up from last time. As you know, we use shoebox tubs, but it's going to get crazy. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.
Peace out.